All right, I guess we're entering the Boneyville Mill Trail. Starting out at eby'spines RV Resort in northeastern Indiana. It's beautiful here. Little highway noise back there. We're not too far off the highway, but it definitely looks like summertime. I love this fence. So I will stop and take photographs of it. Although now we seem to have come to a crossroad. Which way do we go? That way? Or that way? I'll figure something out and I'll let you know. And the decision is, we'll go left. Looking at the maps of this area, the mill is, I think, down in this direction for sure. It was in more of a southerly, southwesterly direction. And that crossroads where that T was kind of almost a north-south, but I think this has the better chance of heading us off in that westerly direction. But look at this, it's beautiful. Ooh, very pretty. And I can tell you that the mosquitoes are out. I'd have to fire up the citronella candles this evening. Yep. They're out all right. He says, walking into a dark, humid forest. Sheltered from the direct sunlight. Places that mosquitoes love. Now this I knew we were going to come to. There's a clearing here. Looks like it could be for like power line access or fire break or something like that. It looks like we're just going to head straight across it, but we'll give it a look up and down here once we get out in the middle of it. Yeah, definitely a break in the forest. The way ahead. That is just beautiful. So natural. There aren't any power lines there. It does seem a little unnatural to have a break like this. If you look at it on like a map, like Google Maps, you can tell it looks kind of artificial, but it sure is pretty anyway. All right, well, wonder if I should head down this direction, because this is again more southerly, and if this curls around to the right at the end of this stretch, then I think we'd almost be there. It is after 5 p.m. on a Sunday. They are not open. But another group from the Embassy RV meetup here at eby'spines headed out this morning to take this hike. And I know they did see the mill in operation. They were making flour there. Okay, so apparently there is a natural gas line running up this corridor. All sorts of trails. Like here's another one coming out. Look at the beautiful white flower bushes here. What are these, mock orange? Is that what they're called? I'm probably wrong. I'm no botanist. But it's pretty. Look at that. They're everywhere. Just beautiful. Do they have a scent? A little. It's delicate, but it's very fragrant. Very, very nice. Better be careful now. As I come back up this corridor, it was the next right turn past those natural gas signs. So just got to remember that, I guess. And come right back up this easement. And clearly somebody is mowing this. I don't know if it's the park, because I think this might actually be out of the park's property boundary, so not really sure who is maintaining this. But no worries, right? As long as we get to walk on it. With any luck, we're not trespassing. Didn't see any no trespassing signs. So just by way of, it seems like a good time to go ahead and talk about what's been going on with the channel. A little channel update. Because here I am down in northern Indiana, and that's quite a ways away from my last reported position. And boy, I'm not even going to try and figure out or think about where that was. But what happened is I was called back to Wisconsin for a rental turnover. If you watched my Who's This Guy video, then you may recall that I own a duplex in the Madison, Wisconsin area. And live in one side and rent out the other. So that's kind of home base. But I always knew that this could happen, that the current tenant would let me know that they weren't going to stay. I was really hoping that they would. They've been great tenants, and so it's difficult to lose good tenants. You just don't want to do that, but it happens. And so back on April 1st, it might have been the last day of March, I'm not sure, but I had just rolled into Roswell, New Mexico, and was gonna go hunting aliens, right? I mean, what else do you do in Roswell? So there was that. And but I got a text message from the tenant on my way into Roswell, letting me know that they were going to be leaving. Well, this is doubling back now. This is interesting. So I wonder where this is going to go. Oh, okay. I remember seeing this on Google Maps. I may need to pull up maps just to figure out exactly how to do this. Unfortunately, on Google Maps, you couldn't really see the path. So, but it does look, and I know that there's this river, this water hazard along the trail, which I think one of the other pathways avoids by going around it. So I think I have to backtrack and head over to or use that trail. So we'll go back. Anyway, where was I? So I just pulled into Roswell, got the text that that my tenants were leaving, and it's a June 1 rental, so their last day in residence was the 31st of May, and that's just a couple days ago now. 3 as a matter of fact. And so anyway, I had to be back up here in order to screen tenants, do all the paperwork, and do whatever turnover was going to need to happen to prepare the unit for the next tenant. And so right there at the end of March, the beginning of April, I had to turn around and make my way back to Wisconsin. So that's exactly what I did. Just shut down the travels and came back home, where I've been, you know, for the past couple of months, essentially April and May. Some of it was just a waiting game, waiting for the current tenants to actually do their move and me to get in there to flip it for the next tenant. I did a lot of work on the Joy en Route website, but that's not really ready to roll out. But it has come a long way. And what I really hope to do with that website is to showcase some of the photography that I am taking on my travels, because probably first and foremost I'm more of a photographer than a videographer. I'm really trying to make this transition. It is a little hard. I don't always think to pick up the camera and turn it on for virtually everything I do. You know, that's how you're supposed to do it, but and I do have an awful lot of footage that I need to be able to produce and send out. So I'm thinking that there's going to be kind of a, you know, maybe a 6-month review, and it might be even be a small series of videos where I just kind of highlight in both pictures and video the places that I have. Okay, so here's the other trail. Boy, this is really narrow. Okay, but lions and tigers and bears, oh my. No. And hear my voice talking to you guys on the camera, and probably every wildlife in the vicinity is heading off in another direction. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of the plan for the website, is to be a place to blog, a place to show off photography, and which may be a little bit more extensive than some of the video work that I've done, but also to highlight videos, and you know, as new videos come out, that will be, you know, one place that you could access them, even if you're not headed through YouTube itself. I might also be posting videos on other platforms as well, like maybe Rumble, you know, who knows. We'll just see how all that kind of plays out. I feel like, you know, the first 6 months have been, you know, just remarkable and in some respects very magical. But, oops, I almost, oh, what happened there? Messing with the tripod on this selfie stick. But I also feel a little disappointed in myself for not, you know, just getting the videos out like clockwork, like some content creators on YouTube do. They literally, figured out a schedule and they stick to it. And I mean, I'd love to work up to that at some point. And I know it's critical to the channel's success. So I will be working towards a more aggressive video release schedule. Like most other things, it takes refinement and trying to figure out ways to do things efficiently. And that just seems to be part of everyday life in van life, is you're constantly looking for ways to do things a little more efficiently so that you can get in more sightseeing, you can get in more photography, you can get in more videography, all of that. I mean, plus of course enjoy the travel yourself, because after all, I am kind of doing this for me, and I'm very happy to have you all along. It's really cool to be able to do this with you guys. So thanks for being here and watching the videos and stuff. There are some state parks in Texas that I would love to go back to right about now, although I know it's getting really hot down in Texas probably at this point. But just to see, the change from how I saw the areas that I visited now versus then. I know that a lot of trees did lose their leaves. It was winter. That happens. But there were a lot of trees that didn't. So I mean, it's a different environment down there. It's a lot warmer than it is in Wisconsin, my native environment, or more native environment to me anyway. And so yeah, just would love to see what some of the places look like today versus several months ago when I was there. And I really wanted to continue my journeys in a more westerly direction for a bit, at least getting into Arizona. I wanted to make it over to Meteor Crater. And I figured by the time I got there, then it probably would be time to turn north and in a direction maybe a little more towards home. I knew that this gathering of Embassy RV owners and wannabes, sponsored by Embassy RV, would be a event that I was definitely going to head to, regardless of whether or not my tenants were going to stay or going to leave. So I would have been here at this time anyway, but my my heading in this direction was a little earlier than anticipated. So I spent some pretty cold nights in Wisconsin, and there was even some snow sometimes when I first got here in April. So I was really hoping to just not see any snow at all. Of course, actually, the very day I left on this journey, there was a little snow flying in Iowa as I tried to escape the cold temperatures in Wisconsin. But not quite like the couple of snow events that we had in April in Wisconsin. So I don't know. I was just hoping not to see that. So maybe one winter that will actually happen. I won't see any snow at all. We'll see. I wouldn't mind seeing snow-capped mountains, of course, but snow-capped joy? No. Let's not go there. Just ducking under the trees here. The canopy is quite low. But this is a beautiful trail. I wonder how many bars of service I have in case I need to use Google Maps to find my way out. That should be fine. I remember what I need to do so far anyway. Just follow this trail back to that clearing and go north one more exit to the next path back to the camp. Okay, what do we got coming up here? I see like a car or something over there. So maybe we're re-emerging into civilization. Yeah, definitely. Oh, look at that. We got a whole family out hiking. Try to wave at them. They didn't see me. Oh, what's this? See, this is the joy of discovery, right? You're just out walking around, enjoying the day. The temperature, by the way, here in northern Indiana is in the low 80s. Yesterday it was in the low 90s. The day before it was in the low 90s. We got a little bit of a thunder boomer that came through yesterday afternoon, and then I don't know, things kind of cleared up and it was a little bit cooler today. Sometimes that happens, right? Front comes through and it's cooler. Okay, well this looks to be part of the park, really. At least this pavilion has a reservation sign on it. Ouch. Darn mosquito. Alright, let me just check what this says. I won't put that information on the thing there. Elkhart County Parks. Okay, so this is the a county park, not eby'spines RV resort anymore. So, well, that's cool. I mean, I don't know where the mill is. We could walk down to the end of this drive here and see if we can find anything. Yeah, excuse me, runny nose a little bit because just before I left Wisconsin, all of the pine trees up there were dumping pollen like you would not believe. I washed Joy on a Sunday, and by Monday night, she was just coated in yellow pine pollen. And that continued on for the rest of the week until we got a little bit of a cloud burst, and that kind of washed a little bit of it away, but it was still, it's still hanging around on Joy as it is, but not as a fine coating of yellow. But here, and I really worried about getting here because this place is called eby'spines. I thought, oh, is it just more of the same? But I think northern Indiana is probably, you know, like a week or two ahead of Wisconsin in that regard. So wasn't an issue at all, frankly. But now here, cottonwoods are letting go of their little puffs of cotton. So now there's cotton floating everywhere in the air. I really haven't seen that much around here, right? Yeah, I'm not seeing hardly anything in the air right here, but wow, back at the campsite, it's just everywhere. Well, we have ourselves a road here, and probably my guess is that the mill is right along this road somewhere real close by. I'm just hoping that I can see it real quick. Or I might just have to pop over to maps if I've got any signal here. I've had really weak signal, only a couple bars of T-Mobile 5G. Nice muffler, buddy. This is the Cumulree Shelter. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Okay, and that must be the big highway over there. Just saw an RV go screaming down there. I hope I was pointing up enough where you could see it too. One day I'll actually learn how to do camera work. But yeah, I don't see a mill here. So I don't know if it was the other way. Let's just look around the corner. If we see something, cool. If not, we'll probably just head back. Like I say, the mill's not open right now anyway. For tours. Look at this county road. Just beautiful. Just the kind of road you want to take a drive on, right? Watch for high water. Would be a good idea to watch for. Hopefully there's not going to be any. Okay, what's going on here? A lot of earth moving here. Looks like it could be a private residence or a private farm. Oh, looks like somebody's camping out in the while the building is in construction. Here comes a car. Excuse me, truck. Here comes another car. Well, so I'm not really clear where the mill is in relation to this road. It's probably somewhere close, but I think we're going to turn around and head back. Almost looks like this is a trail to somewhere. But it kind of looks chained off. I'm not really sure. There's these posts and the gate. It's not really closed off completely, but it looks like that could be wildlife access through there. I think we'll just go back and head back the way we came. I want to get over on the other side. Looks like there was a horse coming through here. Beautiful, beautiful afternoon. Wow. Okay, and here we are at the T intersection where we took a left. So now we'll take a right. And if you look very carefully through the trees, you can see dolphins. Embassy dolphins. I don't know that this trailhead's the greatest place to put a dumpster, but there it is. Now we're back into the Embassy meetup area. Eby'spines RV Park and Resort, I think, is the official name. And joy is straight ahead. Oh, they have a big old circle going over there. I'm gonna have to grab my chair and head over. All right. End of the journey for now. Talk to you in the next one.